Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Once again, delighted to be joined by Anthony Joseph, news editor for Sky Sports News. Anthony, thank you for your time as always. Really appreciate it, especially at this time of year. How are things?
Getting very busy. It's we had a bit of a lull period. I think it was on Monday, but now things have ramped up Tuesday, Wednesday, and now into today. And my phone has just been non-stop. And I'm sorry, I've had to push you back a couple of minutes today just to take some calls on some transfer news as well. So it's getting very, very busy.
Yeah, hard work, Anthony, but we appreciate the effort you put in. We'll start on the big story you exclusively broke a few days ago. And it feels like, at least to me, that everyone associated with Watford, the players, the supporters, even the head coach, are desperate for reinforcement, particularly in defence. You exclusively revealed the club have been working on deals for at least 7 players, with the aim of completing at least 2 before the deadline. The shortlist included some notable names: Tyler Binden at Forest, Mason Holgate, of course, will be well known from his time at Everton, and Mark McGuinness as well. What's the latest on those deals? And can you talk us through the club's strategy and thinking into taking these so close to that all-important Tuesday night deadline?
Yeah, so obviously clubs have shortlists drawn up, and we spoke about it before that there would have been a shortlist created before the summer, during the summer. That gets changed. People from the long list then get added in, and other people become available due to the domino effect of transfers or people leaving clubs or others going out on loan. So we've spoken about it before that the homegrown market is proving really difficult for Watford. It's quite challenging, which is why they've had to explore the foreign markets and the Udinese link for many of their signings this summer. And they want to do deals for championship players, but they are quite often being priced out. I mean, look at some of the money that some of the championship clubs are spending. You wonder how sustainable that's going to be if they don't make the Premier League, for example. So yes, I broke the other day was that Watford are in talks and have made contact for at least 7 centre backs on their shortlist, and that had a wide range of players from Europe and also in the Championship and also Premier League as well for loans. It looks like these 2 signings will either come from loans or free agents. I can also add to that and tell you that they've held talks with Jamal Lascelles. So he's a free agent after leaving Leicester, and they also hold an interest in Kota Takai at Spurs. So that would probably be a loan if that was to materialise. So that's a little update for you, and where they are. They're still in talks with the other players. I know Stephen Mfuni, Coventry have reignited their interest. So I think if Coventry do make a move for him, it's probably more likely he will end up there over Watford. But they're working on these other targets, and like I was talking about being priced out, they've been working hard in terms of earlier in the window. They tried to sign Ben Godfrey before his move to Rangers. But he was on £16,000 a week, so that's quite big wages for a player who's perhaps not played that much football. So they weren't able to match Rangers' offer for him. They also got close to a return for Max Aline at Man City, but Burnley offered to pay his full £24,000 a week wages and offer a loan fee as well. So that priced Watford out again. Adam Webster, he's a free agent after leaving Brighton, isn't it? So, but he still wants a figure of around £30,000 a week. I think it's 27,000, the exact number. But that's extraordinary. Watford are not prepared to pay that. And why should they as well? Because those are extremely high wages, and Watford want to be on a sustainable model, which they are, and they've got their targets. I think Watford fans would be quite impressed if they got a couple of those targets out of those 9 names that I've now listed. So they're working hard on it, and they're working hard. The centre back is position, getting 2 in is obviously the priority here.
Absolutely. Such a fascinating situation. I saw someone on social media a few days ago say that, Watford potentially looking at Waitrose players, whereas our budget is more kind of Sainsbury's, Aldi. Is that the right comparison, Anthony, or have I got that slightly wrong there, do you reckon?
I guess you could argue that. Of course, you could argue that. I think they're trying to get the best possible player they can in the budget, with the budgets they've got and the constraints they've got at the moment. So I think it's fair to say that. But why not aim high? Because sometimes you can pull out a gem, and they've got connections. They've got the Udinese link. They've got the Man City connection, and they should be using that. And that's what they're doing to try and get these deals over the line. Plus, they, in terms of experience, if they're going for players like Lascelles, who has just left Leicester, then that's experience. That's a very experienced player who's got great Premier League pedigree and experience himself, and is still at a decent age, who could do a good couple of years in the Championship.
Talking of Premier League pedigree, Watford are losing a classy player in Imran Louza. He's set to join Panathinaikos on a permanent deal. That was reported by yourself and Luca Bendoni yesterday. I think the fee around £6.8 million. It feels as though that move has been coming all summer. But does his departure, Anthony, most importantly, open the door for another midfielder to come in?
I think it opens the door, but whether they have enough time and to actually get another midfielder in is the question. So I think ideally, yes, if they could wrap up a couple of centre backs and a winger early doors, I think the focus would be, well, what midfielders are available between now and 11 p.m. on Tuesday. But I think the priorities have got to be the centre back situation. They are, Watford do have other midfielders. Louza hasn't been playing the last game or so, so they do have other good central midfielders. And I feel like centre backs, the two centre backs are the priority, and the winger is a priority. And then maybe they will assess who is available to come in midfield, but they won't panic buy. They won't just bring someone in for the sake of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be the wrong thing to do as well. Too many times we've seen over the years them late buys, maybe slightly the wrong characters, and then later down the road, of course, it doesn't work out, and you have to sell maybe at a loss, or it doesn't quite work out maybe as they would intend. You mentioned there a winger after a long, drawn out process. One of our wingers, Nestory Irankunda, made the move to Sporting in Portugal for a significant transfer fee. And with Mikel Antonio also training at the club as he searches for his next contract. Are there moves being explored in those attacking areas as we enter these final few days?
Yeah, there is. So there's a lot of work going into options in the forward areas, and that to replace Nestory and Kundai went for £17 million. It's a great bit of business from Watford. They're taking their time with Antonio. He's training with the club. He's enjoying training with the club, and they're enjoying having him about. So I think he's quite a good character to have in the camp, and also just for, I guess, the younger players, a lot of them see him as a big role model as well. So they're taking their time with him because he's not played for a long time, and he's been badly injured as well, obviously, So it's that deal could be done after the window. There's no rush for that. And I think he wants to explore his options as well. But Watford are putting themselves in the best possible place by him being around there every day and seeing how they work and enjoying it as well, is what I'm told. So it wouldn't surprise me if Antonio signed, but I wouldn't be worried if nothing's done before Tuesday's deadline. But in terms of other targets, yes, they're exploring the European markets and using their Udinese connections as well to see who could possibly come in. It's not necessarily that they've brought in £17 million and they're going to splash it out on. That's just not the way Watford work. They're very much a club who want to be sustainable. They've made plenty of mistakes in the past under previous regimes and also under the current regime, and I think they know that is the case. So they want to like I said, find the best possible target. Maybe shop in Waitrose, but can they get a great deal? Can they get a yellow sticker deal on a player in Waitrose? So I think that's a great analogy that someone put to you before. But yeah, they're probably shopping in Waitrose, but on yellow sticker deals.
Yeah, absolutely. I would fully agree with you on that. Just finally on Udinese, before we let you go, obviously there is lots of critique towards that relationship. I think from Watford fans and Udinese fans at times, sometimes one club feels like the priority and sometimes the other club feels like it's getting left behind. Undoubtedly positives to it, though. Jordan Zamora coming in this summer, who has that Championship and Premier League experience. Ika Bravo has hit the ground running as well. He's scored his first goal against Southampton. Is that something they're going to heavily focus on still moving forward? As you said, if they can't secure the targets you've discussed, worst case scenario, rely on your sister club in Italy and they'll deliver at least some quality to your squad.
Yeah, and it works both ways. So if you think of who Udinese's main targets will be, it will be in a different level to what Watford are looking at. But if Udinese are looking to sign a young prospect or a player, they might not be able to guarantee games straight away, but he would be perfect for the Championship. Why not Udinese bring him in and he goes out on loan to Watford, helps Watford, and then also is ready for Serie A the next season or a few seasons later. So it works both ways, this partnership. And there's, yes, a lot of people, I can understand fans feeling that it's a lazy way to do it, just rely on Udinese, but it's a real positive that Watford have this kind of connection and gives them an advantage or gives them a bit more of a leveler on the bigger spending clubs in the Championship. And I think we've seen that with some of the deals that, Bravo looks a real find, doesn't he? And he's a permanent deal as well. So
yeah,
it's he is Watford's player, but would he be coming to Watford had he not been at Udinese? I'm not so sure. So I think the partnership is the positives far outweigh the negatives, and I would say there's very few negatives in a partnership with a Serie A club like Udinese. So, like I said, I can understand the fans' frustrations, and I think the hierarchy can understand the fans' frustrations. You've also got to remember, like, I deal with transfers for so many clubs, so many Championship clubs, but also like bigger clubs in Scotland, like Celtic and Rangers. And Celtic, for example, my club Celtic, they've spent £32 million this summer, and fans are still not happy. Yes, understandably, after losing a 4-goal lead in the Champions League qualifier the other night. But even before that, fans were saying they're still not prepared for this qualifier, despite spending £32 million on 4 starters. So it's fans of all the clubs. I see it in my notifications. Every single fan base says, we've not done enough. They want more, and they've not done enough. And a lot of them have merit, but I think there has to be there's nuances to plenty of it as well. But I think there has to be balance there as well. That yes, you will always feel like your club can do more, and the hierarchy and the ownership will also feel we could do more, because that's what you want to do, to push yourself in professional sport and professional business. You have to always have that feeling, oh, we could do a bit more, we could do a bit better, and to strive to do better. So that's there at Watford, that's there at Swansea, that's there at Wrexham. It doesn't matter the level. There's that same feeling at clubs in terms of ownership and fan base.
Anthony, brilliant as always. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. Where can our followers and listeners find you across social media?
Yeah, so on Twitter or X, it's Anthony R. Joseph, and on Instagram, it's Anthony R. Joseph 91.
Thanks, Anthony. And thank you for watching at home. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're listening on all audio platforms, make sure to leave The Watford Way a positive review. I'll be back very soon for your West Ham preview. Until then, bye-bye.